I've been doing a bit of digital data cleanup lately. This was inspired by some episodes over the winter from Garden Fork, where Eric talked to Rick about tightening up your security and getting rid of things that you don't need floating on the internet anymore. I got looking through my website and my old Medium posts, which are linked at the bottom of my media archive. It's been surprisingly encouraging. Most of what I wrote years ago still aligns with how I think today. It was the same with LinkedIn. I scrolled and I scrolled and I scrolled until I got to my oldest posts. My perspective has evolved, but the core ideas are still there. So if you're new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Scott Gillespie, and I'm an author and independent agronomist rooted in the Canadian prairies, focusing on climate-smart agriculture. I share science-based practices that benefit the planet while contributing to the profitability and resiliency of those who farm it. The content of this podcast episode is available in many formats. It's the same content on each, just in different forms. So I have a traditional newsletter that you sign up through MailChimp with, and that just comes straight to your email. I have a newsletter on LinkedIn, and you can sign up directly on LinkedIn, and that also does send a notification to your email as well. I post a video of the podcast on YouTube, and the podcast is also sent to Spotify, which sends it through there, but then it also posts it to many of the other podcast players, and it can be found by just about anything out there. Now, just a quick business highlight. Something that I realized years ago was that if I had done my job right over the winter, I won't be super busy come springtime. In other words, if the plans are in place and I've got my record-keeping app set up properly, I shouldn't be scrambling with recommendations or spending hours keeping track of everything going on. That's what it's been like this spring. The farms are busy, but I'm not. I'm able to respond to questions, go to fields, monitor progress, and keep up with everything without working long days. In fact, it's allowed me to spend some time on my own garden. Selling consulting-only services is a tough sell to farmers that are used to free, and I have that in quote, advice from people that sell products. I'm just not a good product salesman, so I'm glad to have made this work. I have some room for in-season support or winter planning, so if you're looking for an independent advisor, please get a hold of me. And now to a feature article of mine. I'm pleased to highlight that it's my first article in Better Farming Prairies. As I said in the intro, it was interesting to discover that 10 years ago, when I was writing in Medium, I was submitting to publications on that site. After 7 years of podcast production, writing a book, I have achieved the goal of writing for a larger audience. This article is titled Soil, Carbon, and Tillage. Eat your cake and have it too. In the article, I differentiate between deep tillage that happens on a regular basis and strategic tillage that is there to solve a particular problem. This could be in breaking up compaction, resetting nutrient or pH, stratification, or incorporating amendments like manure or compost. I also go into depth about POM and MAOM. POM is particulate organic matter. This is the stuff that would still look like what it was when it was alive. It's just been ground up over time and is now less than 2 millimeters. MAOM is mineral-associated organic matter. This is the stuff that's made up of small molecules that are, and you guessed it, tied to the minerals of the soil. Now, which of these does tillage most affect, and which of these stick around longer? Well, you're going to have to go to the article to find out. And the link will be in the main post of this podcast episode, which is linked in the episode description. Now to some interesting articles that I've come across. Polycrops, challenges, triumphs, and valuable lessons from beef producers. Last month's episode called No Cows, No Problem argued that if the economics of taking a field out of annual cropping and putting it into an annual forage for grazing made sense, then you should go for it. Otherwise, if you don't have cattle, or don't have them nearby, you don't have to worry that you're missing out on soil health benefits by not having them in your rotation. This article goes more in depth on the practices that are working for producers across the prairies. A few of the lessons that I saw from this. Number one, the shotgun approach, which is a whole bunch of species all planted at once, as a cocktail cover crop, can work when you're just trying to find out what works for you. After that, a tailored blend for specific fields or parts of fields is best. Number 2, weeds happen. This was noted in the study referred to last month. They add unintended diversity and need to be monitored. One producer noted that it wasn't until she was using polycrops for a few years that the weeds started to show. And number 3, soil health benefits are not clear right from the beginning. All producers expect to see results in the future and look to short-term economics first. They still need production now to pay the bills, but they hope to see the benefits accrue in time. The next article is called Less Intensive Farming Works Best for Agricultural Soil. Now, the headline seems like a no-brainer, and I almost skipped it, but it lines up very well with the article I wrote about tillage. The less intensively you till the soil, the more organic matter builds up, and the better its function is overall. Perennial phases are nice to have as well, but the economics of those are hard to make work in every area. Interestingly, the best indicator of soil health was soil carbon, and organic carbon is approximately 60% of organic matter content, so it appears we have one of the best indicators of soil health already. Speaking of this, soil organic matter in natural ecosystems versus cropped fields, a misleading comparison. This is another deep dive by Dr. Andrew McGuire, and it doesn't disappoint. He covers one of my favorite topics, imports and exports. In a natural system, there isn't much that leaves the land. Pretty well everything lives and dies there. Sure, they move around, but someone may eat and poop in one area and another may do the opposite. Grazing systems are close to this, but the meat still leaves the land. So the export is much slower, but it still affects the system over time. The next one is a soil health and fertility in organic field crops course that's through the Organic Agronomy Training Service, or OATS. I'm on a listserv that recently posted this course, and all the other ones that they offer were going to be free from now on. Now, your first question is, what's a listserv? It's an old-fashioned email distribution system that allows anyone to send something out to a list of people. If you want on the list, get a hold of me and I can tell you how. So back to the course, I have found this to be an excellent resource for working with fertility plans for organic growers. If you're organic curious or just of the regenerative mindset, this can be helpful to you. So the key takeaways, number 1, you need to watch your imports and exports. Just like the article above by Dr. Andrew McGuire, and like what I've been saying for years, you can't just take and take and take and expect the land to regenerate. It needs nutrients and carbon put back onto it because of all that we take out of it when we export what we produce. Number 2, foliars, biologicals, and humics can have a place in your fertility plan, but they're not the foundation of it. The course instructor directly warns that there are many, many snake oils out there. Now, these are products that have no substantiated claims and are often marketed as miracle cures or something that the mainstream academics or companies don't want you to know about. The problem is, as one of the farmers in the video says, some of them actually work. So you need to do on-farm trials and really test their claims. Number 3, soil balancing is not proven and often costly. The topic is handled well because there are many people, maybe you, that believe that we need the right ratio of nutrients, usually targeting calcium and magnesium. Some even claim that the weeds will disappear when you get the right ratio. As a professional that needs to be able to back up my recommendations in court, if needed, I have to follow scientific consensus. Right now, I do not see the evidence for soil balancing, but I'm always watching new research to see its fit. And finally, omnivorous. How literary scholar David Shields came to rediscover dozens of forgotten crops and preserve Southern culinary heritage. The article was sent to me by a friend from the Garden Fork podcast. Nicole is a writer and photographer and also co-hosts the show occasionally. She also interviewed me on the podcast once about my book. Eric was supposed to be there, but he was having technical difficulties. Anyways, she came across this article where, as the subtitle says, a literary scholar has found a retirement job in rediscovering connection between place and food. I'd never thought of this before, but an old family recipe may not work well today because the ingredients we have either don't exist or what we do have doesn't create the same flavor. Anyways, it's interesting reading and it gets me thinking, what will my retirement job be? Thanks for listening. If you found something thought-provoking or want to share a piece that I should check out, get in touch. On Spotify, you can leave a voice message. On other platforms, just follow the links in the episode description and get to my website and send me a message to the contact page. While you're there, be sure to check out my book, Practical Regeneration, Realistic Strategies for Climate-Smart Agriculture. I keep the podcast free, and if you like giving a little back, buying the book is a great way to do it. Unfortunately, with the looming Canada Post strike, I can't economically ship it anywhere in Canada now. Normally, I can mail it to you for the same price as retail, which is $28, with the GST and shipping included. I can do this because there's no bookstore margin. I just put some of that margin towards the shipping costs, and I still make my author's royalty. I have no idea how long it will last, so if you're listening to this later, you might be able to order it directly from me when that service returns. If you're local, I just ask for $20 when we can meet in person. It's also available in some local independent bookstores, and you can check the listings on my website. Worldwide is available through major booksellers or directly from the publisher. Print on demand is a bit pricier due to courier costs, but it's a trade-off for global distribution. If you need agronomy help, whether you're on the prairies or not, get in touch. All my pricing is listed transparently on the website. I can work in person, online, or a combination of the two. If you're not a farmer, but your organization needs support for a specific project, feel free to reach out through the contact page. I've put together many custom packages over the years, and I'm sure we can come up with something that works for both of us. And of course, you can always help by sharing the episode directly with someone who might enjoy it, or post it to your social networks. So here's to growing more, believing less, and always digging a little deeper.